Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga and your Winter Solstice practice. Today I'm offering the intention of hips, first of all, physically. So if that's all you're interested in, I have got you covered. We're really going to get into our hips. We're also offering the intention of balancing the water element. And the water element is associated with fear and anxiety. When out of balance, it's one that around this time of year, often out of balance, often also, if that's your season in life, as it is for mine, easy to get out of balance. And when it is in balance, then you have courage. So that is my intention to you. Now is a great time to both gather up your props, definitely suggesting a bolster, and set your own intention. Make this practice your own. In fact, we're going to be doing a lot of forward folding in the beginning of this practice. And I'd like you to come out of the pose if you need to, if it just feels like too much forward folding. If you can't have a round back, you can still probably come forward a little bit with a straight back, but pay attention to your body, pay attention to whatever doctor's orders you have. So I'm going to offer, like I said, anytime you feel the need to come out of a pose, and this goes for any practice, go ahead and do so, and then come back in. And also feel free to substitute poses. I can't see what you're doing. Okay, so gather up that props, come into an easy seated position. You'll notice I'm sitting up on my bolster. That can make a seated position more comfortable for people over time. Settle into your space and just notice any noises near or far. And taking your attention to your breath, allow yourself to begin to soften. The solstice, winter solstice, is of course the longest night of the year, the shortest day of the year. And I'd like to share this quote from Victor Hugo. I'll get it approximately right. The longest night will always end and the sun will always rise. It's not exactly how it goes, but that's the gist of it. That's from Victor Hugo. And longest night can be a literal thing. So at the winter solstice, we are having our longest night in the northern hemisphere. It can also be a metaphor for the things you are going through in life. And maybe that's an injury. Maybe that's caregiving. Maybe that's pain or illness, either a mild illness or a prolonged chronic illness. And when we are deep in these things, we feel like we will never feel whole again. So the whole may look different than it was before whatever happened to you. But I just want to tell you, the sun will rise. And you will find either normalcy, or you will find your new normal. So you just need to ride out the darkness. We're going to begin with a mudra, a moving mudra. And it is Sat Ta Na Ma. What we'll be doing is taking our hands, both hands, I'm going to show you one, and just taking our index finger to our thumb, and then we're going and saying Sa, then middle finger to thumb, Ta, ring finger to thumb, Na, and pinky finger to thumb, Ma. So those who are familiar with Kundalini Yoga, it is a version of Sat Nam. And it's very interesting also that each finger has a season that it's identified with. So Sa is with birth or beginnings, and that's your index finger, and that's Sa. Ta is for growth, and that is your middle finger. Na is for death or letting go, and that is your ring finger. And Ma is for rebirth, and that is your pinky finger. And if you think about that, that aligns somewhat with the seasons, right? Everything we go through is cyclical. There is a beginning and an end, but it's circular. So we're always beginning, we're always ending. There's always transformation. Okay, so get into that nice, easy seated position. Allow your body to soften. Go ahead and take your hands onto your knees. We're going to do this 3 times in 3 different ways. The first time will be in a normal voice. The second time will be in a quiet or whisper voice. And the third time will be silently inside, repeating it to yourself inside. So inhale, exhale, let that go. And let's begin. Regular voice. Sa, ta, na, ma. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Sa, ta, na, ma. Now allow your voice to be quiet, whisper-like. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. And then 3 more times, repeating silently to yourself. Now let that go. Deep inhale. Deep exhale out through the mouth. Another one, deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale through the mouth. Last time, deep inhale through the nose. And deep exhale through the mouth. And slowly blink your eyes open. Notice any thoughts or feelings or emotions that may have arisen. Notice how you feel physically. If you're sitting up on that bolster, I am going to turn mine so that I am perpendicular to you, so you can see the side. I do suggest that you stay seated up on a bolster, but again, totally up to you. Bring your legs out straight in front of you. We're coming into caterpillar pose. And I like to begin caterpillar pose just sitting a little bit forward on that bolster and a straight back. The invitation, close the eyes if that feels right to you. You can always put something under your knees as well. They can be bent. And now you can begin to stretch out over your legs. We're beginning to find our edge. We're beginning to surrender to. We're surrendering to that darkness, to the thing that maybe we fear. And maybe you go a little deeper. If it feels comfortable in your body, you can allow that back to round and your head to fall down towards your mat or your bed. What fears can you surrender? And maybe you'd like to go just even a little further or not. Maybe you'd like to back out a little bit. Check in with yourself. Last couple of breaths here. And slowly begin to walk your palms back toward your body. And then take them back behind you. And allow your back to open, your heart to open, your back to bend just a little bit. We're here for just about half a minute. Then slowly begin to walk yourself back upright. You can stay on your bolster. You can have both legs in front. And then go ahead and bend your left leg and take the sole of that foot to the right leg. Half Butterfly Pose. And if your leg, your bent knee is way up like this, go ahead and grab a pillow, a block, a bolster, some folded rolled up blankets so that you can relax the muscles in your half butterfly pose. And again, I like to start with a straight back. And maybe you'd like to come a little forward, going a little deeper into your half butterfly pose with a straight or a round back. We are now in winter, and winter is associated with the kidney and bladder meridians, both of which we are concentrating on in this practice. And the emotions that are associated with the kidney and bladder meridians is fear and anxiety when out of balance. So the more you can practice and give your kidney and bladder meridians some strength, the more you can become maybe just a little less anxious. I know the holiday time is a difficult time for a lot of people. And maybe you'd like to, once again, go a little deeper into pose. Maybe you need to come back out a little bit. Ask your body what it needs. Last couple of breaths here. And begin to walk your hands back towards your body. Take the leg that is bent and straighten it out in front of you, and just take a really quick pause. Notice anything that's bubbling up for you. And then go ahead and bend your right knee. Bring the right foot against your left thigh. And starting out, sitting up straight. Take a few breaths here. Where physically in your body maybe do you need to surrender a bit more in this pose? That the muscles can relax and you can get deeper into the connective tissue of your body and invite that parasympathetic nervous system to come online. And perhaps you walk out a little bit here. Coming deeper into your half butterfly. And maybe you'd like to go even a little bit deeper. Or perhaps it's time to come out of the pose briefly and then come back in. Last couple of breaths here. And begin to walk your hands back towards your body and straighten out that right leg. I'm going to turn to face you so that you can see a few things. You do not need to turn. So still sitting up on a prop, if you are on one, go ahead and take your legs out a little bit wider than hip length apart. And go ahead and again, lean back on your hands and then allow your knees to fall to one side and the other. And go any tension, surrendering any tension that may have built up in this pose. And then come on off of your bolster, setting it aside. Slowly walk your legs out straight behind you, coming down onto your stomach into Sphinx Pose. Now there are many ways to make Sphinx Pose more comfortable for you, and about now a video should show up towards the top of your screen if you want to check that out, if you want to know what variations you can try. Now as you spend this first moment coming into your Sphinx, maybe you want to move those elbows a little bit further away from your shoulders. See how that feels on your low back. Let your shoulders soften. Gaze could be straight ahead, it could be down towards your mat. You might even want a little neck stretch And I'll really allow that head to come on down. A block underneath the head can feel very nice. And if it feels safe for you, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Surrendering again to the darkness. Knowing that the light is out there. Notice where you're contracting muscles in your body. See if you can let go and soften them. Last couple of breaths here. And you can either roll over to one side and then place your palms onto your bed or mat, as the case may be, coming up into a tabletop position. Taking your feet together and your knees out wide, sitting your hips back onto your heels. Taking your finger and your thumb together, making kind of a diamond shape, and placing your head into that. Elbows are out to either side. And we're here for about a minute. And last couple of breaths here. And go ahead and push into the palms of your hands. Begin to walk your hands toward your knees. And then coming out of the position, go ahead and grab a bolster once more. And go ahead and sit up on top of your bolster towards the front. And then allow one leg to come straight out from the side, and then the other leg coming into a Dragonfly Pose. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable to you, if this doesn't feel sensible to you, you can always go ahead and bend one knee, bring that foot into the opposite leg's thigh, and take half Dragonfly. And I'll let you know when it's time to change. And sometimes some blanket, a folded blanket under your legs may feel very nice. Sometimes making a little tower with some blocks and a T shape One goes vertical, one goes horizontal. As you begin to stretch forward, you may want to drop your head onto those blocks. And again, back can be straight, back can be round. If you're in half dragonfly, go ahead and switch your legs now. And think about surrendering your fear of the dark days of winter. Maybe consider that those short days and long nights allow you to get the rest that you need so that you can go into spring and be reborn, transform, and grow. Rest can be a way to light your way into and out of darkness. And that can be, again, literal darkness. And it can be a metaphor for the dark times of your life, whatever that may be. And last couple of breaths here. And slowly begin to walk your hands back towards your body. If you're in half dragonfly, go ahead and straighten out that leg. And if you're in full dragonfly, begin to lean back and bring one foot in and then the other, so your legs are straight out in front of you. And again, allow your back to bend a little bit. And take a few moments here to just counter that darkness. Bring light back into your day. And go ahead and come off of your bolster and move it towards the middle of your mat. Go ahead and have a seat in front of that bolster. So that your hips are behind the bolster. I'm going to sit on it for a moment so you can see what I'm doing. So pretend that my hips are at the end of my bolster, and you're going to bring the soles of your feet together like that, only on your mat or bed. Allow your knees to fall out to either side. So you're in butterfly pose, but your hips are right in front of the bolster, and you lay back and allow your back just drape onto that bolster or onto Bandit, as the case may be, who's receiving my butterfly. So this is supported butterfly. This is another one. There are lots of variations you can take, and I'll have a video linked up at the top here You can always pause and find out which variation might be right for you. Again, notice anywhere in your body you may be clenching a muscle. Maybe that's your thighs, which are really working because your hips don't open this way naturally. Go ahead and take some blocks, put it under those thighs or some rolled up blankets. Allow those muscles to have support so they can relax and you can move into your connective tissue. And with each breath, soften into the support of the bolster or whatever props you may be using. Allow your forehead to soften. Relax your jaw. Allow each and every one of your toes to soften. And each and every one of your fingers to soften. Allow your shoulders to just melt right into the support. And last couple of breaths here. And on your next inhale, go ahead and reach under those thighs and allow those legs to come back together and roll off to one side, off of your bolster. You can take the bolster off towards the side. You can experiment with or without a bolster for our next pose, which are supine spinal twists. So go ahead and slowly come down onto your back. And if you're in the middle of your mat right now, go ahead and inhale. Lift your hips up and over to the left side. Bring your knees in towards your chest and allow them to fall onto the bolster. You can also take a pillow between your legs or a blanket if they're very far apart. And you can also do this without the bolster at all. I think that's what I'm going to choose to do, in which case I like to take my hand on top of the bent knee of the top leg. You are opening up to that returning light. Last couple of breaths here. Your next inhale, slowly bring those knees to point up towards the ceiling. Come back into the middle of your mat. Pause here. And then walk your feet over towards the right. Inhale, lift your hips. And knees in towards the chest. And allow them to fall over to the opposite side. And perhaps as you relax into this twist, you think about a time where you thought you would never see the light again. And remind yourself what happened when you did. Or as my grandma liked to say, this too shall pass. Last couple of breaths here. And then on your next inhale, slowly unwind, taking your soles of your feet to your mat or bed. Knees are bent. And perhaps you grab that bolster and stretch one leg out towards the short end of the mat or the end of the bed, and the other, placing that bolster underneath your knees as I mind the time for you. Invitation to stay in Savasana for as long as you need. But if you're moving on with your day, allow your breath to deepen. Feel the support and the security of the earth beneath you. And begin to take any small movements you need. Come back into this moment right here and now. In your own way and in your own time, find your way back into an easy seated position. And I'm going to suggest that you do open your eyes. We're going to do one last mini meditation and using a mudra. You have your choice actually, yogi's choice. So there is Abhaya Mudra, and it's very simple. Now I'm not mirroring you, so you just bend your right elbow. Like I said, your right elbow, mine will look like my left elbow. And palm faces out, fingers point up towards the heavens. And your left hand can just be resting on your thigh. Now this is also very similar to a mudra used in Kundalini Yoga, which I'm not sure if it has a name. In that case, you take your right palm to your chest, fingers point straight out. You bend your left elbow. So they're very similar, but a little different. Bend your left elbow and then take Gyan Mudra, index finger to thumb. and all the fingers point up. I'm going to go ahead and do this, but you can also do this. They have similar properties, but the Abhaya Mudra is specifically for fearlessness and also for protection. So it's very apropos for this practice. This Kundalini meditation is very calming, and I like to do this when I'm anxious, when I feel overwhelmed. Very calming and very grounding, both very calming and very grounding. And with either hand gesture, we're going to do what's known as box breathing. I'm going to suggest a count of 4, but go ahead and make this work for your body. So maybe that's 2, maybe it's 3, maybe it's more than 4. And it's very simple. You're going to breathe in for a count of 4, or whatever your count is. Hold that breath for 4. Exhale for 4, and breathe out for a count of 4. And of course, if you are not supposed to be holding your breath in, please just breathe normally. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And continue counting for yourself until you hear me speak again. Last round, wherever you are. And let that mudra go. Take the palms of the hands together in front of the heart, pressing into your chest, lifting your heart, lightly bowing your head over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. And may you know that light always follows the dark. And slowly begin to blink your eyes open. Allow your hands to fall into your mat, taking in the rest of your mat and the rest of your floor, and bringing your head upright, hopefully with a smile on your face. Really hope that you feel less anxious, calmer. Maybe some emotions have bubbled up for you in this practice. That's very normal. And maybe nothing did, and that's normal too. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you give yourself grace and gratitude for taking this time just for you, especially at this very, very busy last few weeks of the year. If you enjoy this video, please go ahead and click the like button to help more people find free Yin Yoga. And if you would like to practice with me again, go ahead and click subscribe and click the bell. May you have a wonderful darkest night of your year, and may you go out into the light.